Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
Hello and welcome to the Popternative podcast, a podcast and talk show where we have digital discussions in the worlds of TV, film, pop culture, sports, news, reality, lifestyle, everything really depending on the guest. We talk about it all. As always, I'm your host, Peter Remoliotis. On social media, you know me as PD Beats. My guest is an actor who stars in a film on Lifetime called Christmas on the Menu. We are with Jesse Kove. Jesse, welcome to Popternative, man.
What's up, guys? How are you, man? Thanks for having me.
No problem. I mean, I'm really excited to do this interview. I mean, before we kind of get into kind of your projects, your background, I mean, I went and I saw your Twitter, and I was really kind of interested in your bio, what it said of your bio, because I always talk to people on my show. I call them storytellers because that's what you do. And you wrote down that you are an actor, you were a motivator, a dreamer, and a creator. And I find that's really good and interesting because that's kind of like the ingredients for a recipe of a storyteller. So when did Jesse Kove decide he wanted to be a storyteller?
Well, thanks, man. I appreciate you taking note by that. It's funny. I grew up, people don't know until they ask, or, I grew up in the entertainment industry because my dad's an actor, from all the Karate Kid movies and Cobra Kai and, he's in like 200 movies. So I basically grew up on movie sets.
Yeah, he was in a lot of movies, not just Cobra Kai, not just Karate Kid. That's another thing too.
Yeah. He's been working his whole life. It's been great. So I basically grew up on movie sets, and they were like a second home to me, which I always say. But, ever since seeing that as a kid, you basically can see what's possible, I've seen him in futuristic movies, Westerns, all kinds of stuff. So as a kid, I was always around, these creators and being able to, create things that are, from some reality to another. So, and I always wanted to do that. And my dad never pushed me to be in the industry at all. I just jumped into it when I was like in high school and started doing it professionally after high school. So that's why. And I think it's such an important thing in life is to be an artist and to help, people achieve their dreams. And, without art, what the hell are we doing? Right.
No, absolutely. No, but I just found it really funny because it's one of those things where you don't think about it. But I mean, everyone is, motivated to dream big pretty much and to kind of get there, and we're always creating things, whether you're acting in something, whether you're behind the camera. So I just thought that was kind of interesting. Like, I think you hit it on the head with that Twitter bio, man.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Thank you. I really appreciate that. The thing is obviously dreams are difficult because it's a dream, right? Is it really going to happen or not? But at the end of the day, I've always felt like, as long as you believe and you have faith and you keep working towards that dream, it will eventually come true. And you hear that from everybody who's ever made it. There was always a period of doubt, and then they eventually hit that place they wanted to be in.
Absolutely. No, for sure, man. So specifically, I mean, we're talking here about Christmas on the Menu, which is on Lifetime, in a Christmas movie that you were in. I mean, I find it very interesting, specifically with this one, because, Christmas movies on Lifetime and on Hallmark, let's be honest, like food is around, you know what I mean? Family dinners and everything, you know what I mean? But food is like the focal point in this one specifically. Like, it is about food and people making food. And I thought that was really cool.
It's safe to say I gained some weight when I filmed this movie.
What was that experience like? And tell us a little bit about the film and what people can expect during the holiday season, Jesse.
Well, it's a lovely film. It's so sweet and fun. You can't help but fall in love with it when you watch it. I mean, it's so sweet. It's tangible in the air. My buddy Clayton James did a great job. We met on the film. We became best friends from that. And also the director, Jake Helgren, he called me up before we started shooting and asked me if I wanted to be involved, because I'd actually done a previous movie with him before, which was a totally different spectrum called Psycho Stripper for Lifetime, which did really well. That was a thriller. We had a good time with that. So I met Jake on that, and then about 8 months later, whatever it was, called me up, asked me if I wanted to be in this movie that we're shooting in Big Bear. And I said, of course. I mean, who doesn't want to be part of a Christmas movie? It's so fun. And, they did a great job. The cast was fantastic. Kim Shaw played the female lead. She was great. And, it was just so fun to be a part of that and to kind of get this whole vibe of Christmas going on. We shot it in July, which was hilarious, which was, it was very hot outside, but we had fake snow everywhere, which was fun, and I love Christmas myself. So being around this whole Christmas spirit was it was a lot of fun to be with. And we just had so much fun. And, there was just, there's really a lot of care that goes into these Christmas stories because there's always, there's a bit of a struggle inside these movies. And there's always, there's always a wonderful outcome at the end where someone falls in love or they've lost someone and they're finding new love. And there's always so much love that goes on with these movies. So you can always feel that when you're on the set. So it was so nice to see all that come together in the end.
But you agree with me though with like food being the focal point, right? Like I don't think I can name you like 10 that it's like based like mainly like food is kind of in the title, like menu. Like
dude,
I just feel
it was
like
in
it's
every scene. You're gonna laugh, man. We would do takes and I would be literally sitting there like just picking at the food going, oh yeah. Mm-hmm. You want me to walk in this way? And then, oh yeah, okay. Yeah, great. This is so good. And they're like, Jesse, stop eating that. That's for camera food. I was like, okay. It was like that all the time, but it was fun. We learned a lot. And who doesn't love food? I mean, it's like, you know, when you look at, I think, what is it? It's like on Instagram, it's like the biggest hashtag ever is just like, it's food porn, something like that, right? Yep. It's food. Everyone loves food.
Yeah, no, but it just blows my mind that, you know, like I checked the film out and I watched it, and my mom loves those movies, right? So she was hooked, man. Like, let's be honest, right? And it's just like I see her in the background watching a lot of these, and I'm like, man, like this one is like a food one. Like I haven't seen like a food like Christmas movie like this.
Were you hungry? Did you get hungry watching it?
I did, yes. I mean, I feel like I mean. You can't escape it in this movie, and I think
food
that
brings people together.
Yeah,
I mean, at the end of the day, food brings people together. You're cooking with your family. You go on a date. You meet someone new. The food is always that. Like,
well, look at events like look at the Super Bowl, right? What's the big focal point every year with Super Bowl? What are you going to eat? What do you watch?
What is everybody bringing? It's the food. Food is decorated like, you know, it's its own character.
Absolutely. You also have, we were talking about before we started, there's another movie people can check you out in that's coming up pretty soon called Recipe for Abduction.
Yes.
And it's funny because you wrote the first one. What was the first one you said? Stripper?
Oh, Psycho Stripper.
Psycho Stripper, Christmas on the Menu, Recipe for Abduction.
Oh, God. Yeah, just, being an actor, man. We go everywhere. Yeah. I mean, look at me. I'm out in the woods. Like, this is, I'm just enjoying my Christmas in Northern California here.
Absolutely. But that's exciting. And other projects like coming up for you too?
Yeah, that's a fun one. It was fun to go back and forth between the Christmas and, that was a thriller. Directed by Chris James, really great. Had a great time with that one. Again, you're gonna laugh, man. Believe it or not, this movie surrounds around food. The main story is about this family that opens up a restaurant, and and the daughter ends up going missing, and I play this reporter who ends up helping them try to find her. But a lot of the movie's based around the restaurant that the family opened.
I forgot there was recipe was in it when you said it was about food. Yeah, it's true.
What is the recipe for abducting someone? It's it's a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But it's hilarious. I just realized myself now that I'm doing all these movies based around food. I should just become a chef.
Have you seen the movie Chef with Jon
Favreau?
Yes,
it's so good.
One of my favorite movies. And people don't realize like that movie is like about social media.
Right, completely. I'm starring in Chef 2, actually. No, I'm kidding.
That'd be great. I hope he made like a Netflix documentary series where he went around on like food trucks.
Oh, it was amazing. Yeah, it was incredible.
So
There's
cool.
a whole food truck world. It was beautiful. But yeah, food, man. Who doesn't? Food is like the thing from birth to death that we love no matter what.
Absolutely. No,
but yes,
for
sure. It was a great time. Just to finish up, it was a great time on that film. We had so much fun, and also shooting at Big Bear, which was incredible up there. And also we did it at the beginning of COVID, which was really challenging for everybody. It was the first time we were actually, funny enough, we were one of 3 productions that were actually shooting in all of California at the time. And this was right at the height of the beginning of COVID when they were doing the lockdowns. And they ran a great set. Everybody was extremely safe. We were getting tested weekly. And they had nurses that were coming to set. And, it was a lot for us to adjust. We wear masks while we were rehearsing, and then we take them off right before the camera went on. We put them back on.
Absolutely.
There was a kissing scene, and the two actors had to get COVID tested like 2 hours or whatever before that happened. And it was a lot to take on. And the crew were incredible. They worked so hard. Despite everything that was going on, and trying to make sure that they were following the guidelines. It was like new territory, man. It was my first time doing a movie, during COVID.
Yeah.
And it was like we were paving the way for
the COVID tests and everything.
Yeah, exactly. And social, especially social distancing on a movie set is very strange because you have to have these conversations with people and be intimate with your other actor and just kind of talk about what's going on. And and then having the masks and everything. So it was challenging, but it worked.
It makes me think too, because doing the show, doing a lot of like the virtual press junkets, a lot of interviews like this, like it makes me think like what at one point a lot of what we're obviously at one point, vaccines are going to come out, people are going to want to get back to normal and everything, but at one point, is it that some of how we're living right now might become the new norm? Like, I mean, digital press junkets might still be a thing. You know what I mean? People might see that it's easier just to get everyone on Zoom and do a thing. Like, I'm wondering, do you know what I mean by that? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I'm in my underwear. You wouldn't even know. Out here in the woods.
Do you know what I mean? Like, there's going to be some kind of, we're going to go back to what people say normal, but maybe like a lot of this in the entertainment industry is the new normal. Like, people are making movies. People are directing movies over Zoom, dude. Like, there are movies, like the director's like making a movie and he's directing over Zoom or FaceTime. I do want to get a little deep and philosophical right now with you about something. I do have a question. Right. Okay. And I hate to do it, but I'm going back to that Twitter bio again.
Okay.
I don't know, man. It's a good talking point. Actor we're taking out. I'm talking about the three others that are in your Twitter bio. I'm talking about creator, motivator, and dreamer. Okay.
Yeah.
All three of those are very important. They're all important. They're all equally important. Which one to you, though, for people that kind of, in terms of people that want to go in the entertainment industry, want to act, want to start a podcast, get kind of reps and everything, which one do you see has more prominence than the other? The dream aspect of it, the motivation aspect of it, or the creating aspect of it?
Awesome question, man. Thank you. I love that. Honestly, I think it's the dreamer, man, because it starts with the dream, and then, you have the dream, and then you get motivated, and then you create, right? Mm-hmm. So you have this idea in your mind, just like any person that wants to create something. And then, you actually start to create it and build it. And then all of a sudden it's there and it's happening, just like someone who writes a script or does a show or whatever. Absolutely. It starts from nothing. And I think to have those dreams, and I think it's important for people to have dreams, to know that you really can do anything you want in this life. And as long as you put the work into it, you can build a house, you can create a movie, you can, be the CEO of a huge company. You can, whatever you want to do, be a race car driver, firefighter, whatever that is, go into space. I mean, all that, it's possible. It is possible.
No, it is. So, well, I feel like it's one of those things too, where people ask me all the time, man. And like, I think Nike just kind of Nike said it the best, right? Like, everyone asks me like, oh, I want to start a podcast, or, oh, I want to write a script. You know what I mean? I mean, like, just start it. Just do it. Yeah. Like, just do it, man.
Do it. Yeah.
Like that it's kind of easy like that. And I feel like, because creator was the one that kind of stood out to me, because I get they all go hand in hand and you have to be motivated and dream big to create. Right. But it's just like, I think people need to like have the ability to make something their own and create something for themselves. Like, I think that's really important.
Totally. I couldn't agree with you more. And I love that you appreciate that. It's really like, it's a mindset too, right? Yeah. I mean, there's also, like, even during the current events now of COVID, there's people that are really hurting, which is a terrible thing. And then there's people that have, that have created new businesses and ideas from this at home, Absolutely. Doing stuff like that, or they were able to be at home and do something else that they've, dreamt about. And, I think the mindset is so important that, you can do these things. Like you said, your friends, I want to make a podcast. Well, just do it. You're already like 80% of the way there just by starting.
Yeah, absolutely. I do want to ask you one question. You mentioned at the top, your father is Martin Kove, Sensei Kreese from the Karate Kid movies and Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
I just want to know, I mean, like, it's one of those things where, I talked to my dad about this too and everything. And because my dad loved the Karate Kid movies, he's also watching Cobra Kai. The popularity is there and everything. They've done such a good job with Cobra Kai. I've interviewed a lot of the cast members. It's insane.
Oh, great.
But like, what are the conversations been like? Is your dad like overwhelmed with how popular Cobra Kai has become? Is he surprised a little? Like, it's like, because it's huge. Like, it's become a big show, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, well, thank you, dude. I'm so glad you're a fan. We talk about it all the time. I mean, I remember we talked about in the beginning when he first told me, I was like one of the first people he ever told. He's like, they're interested in making like a Karate Kid TV show on YouTube. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? Right. And then they started talking about it. I was like, that actually sounds amazing. And we talk about all the time that, the show is really, no, the movie itself, First Karate Kid, is like its own great film for everyone. I mean, it's like I think it's the most top 25 iconic movies ever made.
Yep.
And, It deals with an issue that everybody deals with no matter what age. You're growing up, you're in high school, you deal with bullying, all that stuff. You overcome something, you have a mentor. Like, it's just this perfect slate of, events, and everybody deals with that at every age group. And then again with the show, they've taken that, the writers, the producers are incredible. John Hurwitz, Hayden Schlossberg, and Josh Heald. They've made this show for everyone. It's for adults, it's for kids, and I think it's amazing to take people who are fans of the movie in the 80s and be able to see it now when they probably have kids who are then watching. Like, it's like this amazing reversal that's like never been done before. I mean, a movie that was so successful in the 80s, then 35 years later to make a show with the same,
it's almost unheard of,
is insane. It's unbelievable. And so they're paving the road for this. It's incredible. So it's such a blessing. And I think the thing with, I've been on the phone with, these guys, Billy Zabka and Ralph Macchio, my dad. And the thing that they love, that they take care of so much, is the legacy of what they've created. They take so much care into that, and the writers do. And they know that as well. There's so much, it's very delicate. These characters are like, it's like they're constantly have to like dust them and shine them and keep them in place, take care of them. So it's amazing. It's so amazing to be a part of. It's really a blessing. My dad is so grateful. And he's always trying to figure out how he can evolve this character and change where it's been over the last 30, what he's gone through. So it's amazing. It's really amazing.
No, it's amazing for sure. And I'm sure you're asked this all the time. I mean, you never know. Maybe Jesse Cove will show up on Cobra Kai one time. I guarantee you are asked that all the time, man. I guarantee you that's brought up all the time.
Well, I mean, who knows, man? If the show keeps going on as successful it is, who knows, man? It'd be amazing. I'd love to. He's so great.
Jesse, thank you so much for coming on Popternative, man. I really enjoyed chatting with you.
Oh, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
So people can check out Christmas on the Menu now on Lifetime.
Correct.
And they can look out for a Recipe for Abduction coming up pretty soon as well.
Absolutely. Also, a movie that's available now, which is with Kevin Smith, Greg Grunberg from Star Wars and Star Trek, and Lynn Shay from the Insidious movies.
She's been on the show. I've interviewed Lynn Shay.
Oh, great. Yeah. So she probably did she talk about Max Reload and the Nether Blasters?
A little bit, yeah. Because she was talking about how she's been working on a lot of movies lately.
Oh my God, so much. It's funny. I asked her on that set. I'll tell you in a second. But Max Reload and the Nether Blasters is an amazing science fiction action gaming comedy. I mean, it's incredible for people to watch. It's available on Amazon now. Super fun. I play a character named Steve. We had such a blast. Scott Condit, Jeremy Tremp, who directed that, are amazing. I was talking to Lynn on the set of that, and I go, Lynn, I was like, you must be exhausted from doing all those like horror movies. Like, she looks at me, and she's like, it is exhausting. I'm like, yeah, you have to scream and cry and do all this emotional work.
Would say it too.
Yeah, she was just exhausted. I would be too. I mean, it's just so much energy. But she was amazing to work with. I'm so glad she's been on your show.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, thanks again, man. You guys can find me on Instagram at Jesse Cove, Twitter, Facebook, all that stuff.
That's literally my next question. That was my next question. So people can follow you on social media. Well, seriously, man, thank you so much for doing this, man. This was awesome.
It was amazing, man. Thanks for being here.
No problem. This has been Popternative, youtube.com/Popternative for previous episodes. Catch Jesse Cove and Christmas on the Menu, available now on Lifetime. Something awesome to watch during the holidays. Happy holidays to everyone. Please stay safe. Until next time, this is Jesse Cove and PD Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.